Typically, January marks one of the slowest months in the Canadian real estate market, but this year is anything but typical. We're seeing the Canadian housing market on fire right now. Sales are absolutely through the roof, inventory levels are plummeting, and prices are on the rise. This is your February 2021 Canadian real estate market update. Welcome back to Prairie Real Estate, where I educate you about Canadian real estate. I do monthly market updates, weekly educational topics, and every Tuesday we cover one real estate related topic in 2 minutes or less. I cover 11 major Canadian housing markets in these market updates. I like to go over the number of sales, inventory levels, how many new listings came on the market, local insight from realtors, tracking prices, and at the end, we're gonna give each city a Prairie Real Estate biometer score so you know exactly what is going on in your market. And if you want to skip to your market, in the timeline below or in the description, every city is time-stamped. But of course, we start every one of these videos off with another terrible joke. And this one is from a viewer. I love viewer jokes. If you got good ones, put them in the comments below. Here we go. Why didn't the skeleton buy a house during the pandemic? Because he didn't have the guts. The January we just had in Regina might have been the busiest January we've ever had in the city. I'm actually trying to dig up some data to see if there was a busier January than what we just had. We had 193 homes sold in the month. That is up 75% from last year. The 5-year average for number of homes sold in January is 137. So we absolutely blew the doors off of the 5-year average. There were 338 homes that were listed for sale. That is down 2% from the previous year. The 5-year average is about 430 homes put up for sale in the month of January. Inventory, which should have gone up this month, did not. With 780 homes that were put on the market, there's over 1,100 houses on the market this time of year when you look at the 5-year average. What did surprise me though is that the benchmark price in Regina dropped again. Now that's not abnormal to see that prices will typically bottom out at the end of January and early February, and then they'll climb all the way through the spring. But what surprised me with it dropping was how many multiple offer situations I was in personally and how many I heard about throughout the city. So I'm expecting this to start rebounding fairly quickly here as we get into this very busy spring market. That is exactly what Regina is looking like we are going to have. So that's why I've got the Prairie Real Estate biometer sitting very squarely in the get moving category. This is a good time to get out and look at houses before we get into the busy spring market where sales will probably be double what we just had. Once again, Victoria saw another strong month for home sales. Condo sales were actually up about 83% and single family homes were up 50% year over year. 646 homes were sold in the month. That is up 57% from last year, and it's up 2.5% from the month before. There were over 900 homes listed for sale in the month of January. That is up about 3% from the year before. It's almost double what they had listed in January. Active listings, 1,321. That is down 38% from last year. It is up 3% from the month before. The average price for a single family home in Victoria, $932,000. That is up 8.3% from last year, and it's up about 1.8% from last month. The trend line for pricing over the last number of years, you can see, continues to increase in Victoria, and unless they see a massive shift in both supply or demand, or both of them combined, prices are going to continue to rise. Only the downtown apartment condo saw year-over-year declines in pricing. So that's why I've got the Prairie Real Estate biometer in Victoria sitting at get moving. It's time to get a look in before the spring market pushes this even hotter than it is right now. The sales for the month in Vancouver not only easily surpassed last year, but they also surpassed their 10-year average and smashed the 5-year mark as well. 2,389 homes sold in Vancouver for the month. That's up 52% from last year, It is down 23% from the month before. December was a very big month for Vancouver. The 5-year average though for the number of homes sold in Vancouver, 1,740 in the month of January. 4,480 homes were put up for sale in the month of January in Vancouver. That is up 15% from last year. It is also up 86% from last month. 5-year average number of homes listed for sale in January is 4,300 in the month, so they're just above that. Active listings, 8,306 active listings. That is down 10% from last year. It is down 2.7% from last month. Generally, in the spring and the early parts of the year, we should see inventory and listings increasing. They're not yet in Vancouver very much. The 5-year average is 8,700 houses on the market to start the month of February. Benchmark price, $1,056,600. That is up 5.5% from last year. It is also up 0.9% from the month before. Talking with agents in Vancouver, one thing they noted was multiple offers are not only happening in single family homes, townhouses, but also they're starting to happen in the condo market now. We're seeing a lot of very competitive activity across Vancouver. For the BPRE real estate biometer, I'm putting those back together. We're all putting them in one category, and that is get moving. Downtown condos, which had been weak, are now starting to show a lot of signs of strength. I talked about this last month, that there was an opportunity probably to pick these up at better deals. I still think that exists, but that window is closing very quickly. Single family homes though, those continue to be exceptionally popular. A lot of competition there. Prices continuing to rise. And until we start to see a shift in demand, that's going to continue. So Vancouver real estate market, you guys are really hot there and very competitive right now. Calgary's been seeing a pretty strong rebound the last couple of months, and that trend is continuing. Home sales, 1,208 homes were sold in the month. That is up 40% year over year. It's up about 1% versus last month as well. The 5-year average number of homes sold in Calgary is about 900 for the month of January, so they easily crushed that. 2,246 homes were listed for sale. That is down 5% from last year. It's up 90% from the month before. Again, December's often very quiet in Calgary, so not surprised to see listings jump up. But the 5-year average, 2,460 listings typically come on for sale in the month of January. Their active listings, 4,035. That's to start the month. That's down 26% from last year. It is up 10% from last month, but the 5-year average number of homes for sale to start the month in February, 5,530, so they're well below that. Their home price index benchmark price in Calgary, $423,000. That's up about 3.8% from last year. It's also up about 1/3 of a point from the month before. Prices in Calgary have continued to rise. We're seeing a recovery in that Calgary real estate market. And that's why I bumped the BPRE real estate biometer from start window shopping to get moving. They're gonna have probably a very busy spring like a lot of markets across Canada. Get a jump on that before more people jump in and push prices even higher in Calgary. Last month I said it felt like Edmonton was kind of settling into a more normal market, and then boom, massive spike in sales in January. 1,171 homes were sold. That's up 47% from the year before. It's also up 6% from the month before. The 5-year average number of homes sold in Edmonton, 815 in the month of January. 2,400 new listings came on the market. That is up 7% from last year. It's also up 86% from the month before. This is not surprising to see listings jump up in January. That typically happens. Their 5-year average is also 2,400 new listings come out in the month of January. So for new listings, they're right on par where they should be. 5,255 active listings on the market. That is down 23% from last year. It is up 4.75% from the month before. The 5-year average though for number of listings is 7,107. So they're very low in inventory in Edmonton. Their average price, $364,000. That is up 3.7% from last year. It is up 0.4% from the month before. Looking at the pricing trend here, you can see typically in Edmonton, we see prices bottom out January, February, and they continue to increase all through the year. So if this is where the bottom of prices are going to be for the year, expect them to continue to increase throughout the rest of the year. And that's why I've elevated, like Calgary, the Prairie Real Estate Biometer has been moved from window shopping category to get buying, get a jump on things before the spring market continues to heat up and driving prices up even higher and inventory down. Sales activity in Saskatoon in the month of January is sure feeling a lot like sales activity we would expect to see in March. 278 homes were sold. That's up 27% from last year. It's equal to the month before. Their 5-year average number of homes sold in Saskatoon in the month of January, 191. 557 new listings came on the market in the month. That's down 5.7% from last year. It is up about 60% versus last month. We generally see this, that listings increase in the month of January a whole bunch. The 5-year average though for number of new listings in the month, 589, so they're still below that. 1,021 active listings to start the month of February. That is down 26% from last year. It's up 12% from the month before. The 5-year average though for a number of homes available for sale in Saskatoon to start February, 1,538. So they're well below their 5-year average for inventory. Benchmark price was up 5% year over year. It's about $300,000. It's down a half a point from the month before. Just like Regina, typically prices bottom out in late January to early February. Talking with agents in Saskatoon, they said, boy, this is starting to feel an awful lot like 2007 when we saw prices really increase a whole bunch and bidding wars all over the place. That's why I've got the Prairie Real Estate Biometer for Saskatoon. Get moving right now. Get on this before the Saskatoon market really heats up in the spring, and you probably see sales double from where they are right now. Last month, like most months, I didn't say anything nice about Winnipeg. I got too many friends there to be nice to you guys, and I can't stand hearing good things about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But I did say I'd say a nice thing for you this month, and that is anybody who's thinking about selling a house in Winnipeg, put it on the market right now because they don't have enough listings. 936 homes were sold in the month. That is up 28% versus last year. It's down 0.4% from the month before. The problem with Winnipeg isn't a lack of demand, it's a lack of supply. They'd sell more houses if there were more homes up for sale. 1,597 new listings came on the market. That's down 14.5% from last year. It's up 77% from the month before. The active listings, 2,410, that's down 40% from last year. It did just slightly creep up 0.4% from the month before. Average price, $352,000 in Winnipeg. That's up about 4% versus last month. I've been told houses under $450,000 are seeing consistently 10 or more offers on them. It is crazy active and competitive in that segment of the market. Prairie Real Estate Biometer, get moving in Winnipeg. It's going to be a very busy spring. We're seeing a continuation of the trend we've seen for a couple of months now in the Toronto real estate market, and that is single family homes continue to sell exceptionally well, and there's some weakness in the downtown condo market. Although that might be starting to shift a little bit. We'll get into that in just 1 second here. Let's talk about sales. 6,928 homes were sold in Toronto last month. That's up 51% versus last year. It is down 3.5% from the month before. The 5-year average though for the number of homes sold in the month of January in Toronto, it's about 4,400. So they're still well above that. New listings, 9,430 new listings were put on the market last month. That's up 20% from last year, and it is down 60% from last month. The 5-year average, the number of new listings coming on the market is about 8,400. So new listings are higher than their 5-year average. Active listings right now, 7,396. That is down 16% versus last year. It is down 6.3% from last month. Their 5-year average for inventory is just over 10,000. So inventory is still very low in Toronto compared to the 5-year average. The composite benchmark price in Toronto continues to increase. It's up 11.7% from last year. It's up 1.7% from last month at $925,000. Now this composite price combines all property types together and removes some of the fluctuation or the high sale values that are caused by single family homes that would skew average price. But let's talk about condos because that has been a weaker segment of the Toronto real estate market for a number of months now. The active listings for apartment style condos is double what it was a year ago. But sales in the month of January were also up 85%. January 2020, they had about 1,300 condos, apartment style condos that were sold in Toronto, 2,400 sold in January of 2021. I've been talking about this for a couple of months now. There's a window of opportunity you have if you're looking for these downtown apartment style condos where the sales numbers are a little bit down and the number of inventory is way up. As you can see, that is starting to shift a little bit. We are seeing sales pick up again. So that's why I think that window that has been there, while it's still there, it is going to start to shrink if sales continue to increase like they have been for a couple months now. And that's why I'm combining the Prairie real estate biometer for the city of Toronto back into one. We're putting everything in the get moving category. If we continue to see sales like we're seeing right now and low inventory, spring market in Toronto is going to be very busy. Prices are going to continue to increase. The only way to describe the Ottawa real estate market right now is absolutely crazy because some of these numbers that I'm going to read off here are going to blow your mind. 964 homes were sold in the month. That's up 24% from last year. It is down 3.8% from the month before. 1,171 new listings came on the market in the month. That's up 8.2% from last year. It's also up 57% from the month before. But the 5-year average for number of new listings hitting the market, 1,285. Active listings, this is the one that's going to blow your mind. 954 active listings. That is down 47% from last year. It's also down 0.6% from last month. The average though, for the 5-year average number of homes that are on the market to start February, 4,109. They have such little inventory in Ottawa, it is pushing prices skyward. Average price, $677,000. Now, this is skewed here. It's up 31% from last year and it's up 12% from last month. But one of the reasons I don't like using average price in all my information that I put out is because it can be skewed by high sales. And that's exactly what happened. There were 64 homes in Ottawa that sold for over $1 million last month. The year before it was only 16. So those high sales pushed up the average price for that month. Regardless though of this 1 month being a little bit unusual, the strong demand and really low supply in Ottawa is continuing to push up prices. Prairie real estate biometer for the city of Ottawa is get moving, get ahead of the spring market as well, because if this continues, spring market in Ottawa is going to be very active and very competitive. If you're watching this all the way through, you just heard me talk about Ottawa's real estate market being crazy, and the Montreal real estate market might be even crazier. I'm hearing it's not uncommon on single family homes to have 40 and 50 offers and houses selling for $100,000 to $150,000 more than asking price. Their prices have been rising by 1 to 2% a month for about the last year. So take your comparable sales, throw those out the window because they almost don't mean anything right now. 3,971 homes were sold last month. That is up 16% from last year. It's down 14% from last month. The 5-year average though for sales in the month, 2,470. 5,042 new homes were listed this past month in Montreal. That is down 11.5% from last year. It's up 33% from the month before. The 5-year average though for new listings in the month of January, 6,875. There are currently 11,176 active listings in the city of Montreal. That is down 45.8% from last year, and it's down 3.2% from last month. The 5-year average for inventory to start the month of February in Montreal, 26,600. They've got half of what they would expect to have. Median price for single family homes, $434,000. That is up 23% year over year. It's up about 0.5% from last month. But with inventory levels, like I said, down 50% or even more in some parts in the Montreal real estate market, Prairie real estate is gotta be sitting in the get moving category. There is just not enough inventory in Montreal, and that is pushing prices skyward right now. Do you want the short story on the Halifax real estate market? Take last year's sales, double them, take last year's inventory, cut them in half. It's crazy in Halifax right now. 552 sales. That is up 50% from last year. It's down 2% from last month. Here's a crazy stat. 499 new listings. They sold more houses than the total number of new listings that came on the market. They're down 21% from last year. They're up 13% from last month. 856 active listings. That is down 54% from last year. It's down 11% from the last month. It wasn't uncommon only a couple of years ago to see more like 2,500 active listings this time of year. Their average price, $365,000. That's up 14% from last year, up 1% from last month. Prairie Real Estate Biometer, get moving. There just simply is not enough supply to keep up with the demand, and that is pushing prices in Halifax up, and this has been going on for 3 or 4 years in a row now. I was expecting a busy start to the year, but I wasn't expecting these absolutely crazy sales numbers. Generally, like I said, January is a quiet month, so to have sales numbers closer to what we would see in March and April is pretty crazy busy. Now, of course, this is only the first month of 2021, but this hot market trend is about 8 months in a row now that we have seen sales blow out the years before and inventory be really, really low. If this continues, the spring market is going to be exceptionally busy, because take where we are right now and double it. That's generally what you see in most Canadian cities. Number of homes sold in January versus what's sold in March, April, and May. Usually those months are double what we see in January. So if this continues, we are going to have a very busy year in the Canadian real estate market, and we're going to see prices continue to increase if we don't get any sort of big jump in supply or a huge reduction in demand. And I've been saying for a while now, I think the back half of 2021 could be even busier. That's when I expect to see the return of the rental market. So immigration, international students, and of course tourism are going to start returning in the back half of the year, and that's going to push the rental market back up to where it was pre-pandemic. So where do you sit on the Prairie Real Estate Biometer? Are you sitting tight? Are you starting to window shop? Or are you getting moving right now? And if you are thinking about buying and you would like a recommendation or be put in contact with a fantastic real estate agent in your market, I've got my contact information below, and I'd be happy to put you in touch with a fantastic agent. Many of the agents that help me put this together are some of the best agents in their respective markets, and I'd love to put you in touch with them. If you're a first-time homebuyer and you got first-time homebuyer questions, well, I got first-time homebuyer answers right here in my first-time homebuyer playlist. What about 2 Minute Tuesday? I talked about it earlier. Learn about real estate in 2 minutes or less. Right here is 2 Minute Tuesday. As always, guys, thanks very much for watching.